splash.
Okay.
And I think a switch to some elevation snow for Thursday night.
Good evening, all. Welcome to the town board meeting. November it is. That's right. Stand and rise with the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Lewandowski.
Here.
Councilman Fazio.
Here.
Councilman Waterhouse.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. All right, we're going to open the public hearing to the people out in the audience. How many do we have, Mike?
18.
18. All right. This public hearing is for the budget. After we hear any changes or no changes, we will move on to move it forward. So anybody in the public like to speak?
I need to read the notice.
Huh? Oh, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. The Town Board of Lake Luzerne has scheduled a special town board meeting on November 15th, 2021 at 7 p.m. There will be a public hearing on the 2022 preliminary budget Monday, November 15th, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the meeting room of the Town Hall Complex, 539 Lake Avenue, Lake Luzerne, for the purpose of hearing comment on the 2022 budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022, including general town funds, highway funds, fire protection, ambulance district funds, and light district funds. The budget is available for inspection at the town clerk's office, 539 Lake Avenue, during business hours Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The following are budgeted salaries for the year 2022 for certain town officials of the town of Lake Luzerne. Supervisor, $32,960. Councilman, 4 at $72.10 each. Town clerk, tax collector, $40,170. Town justices, 2 each at $14,523. Highway superintendent, $55,401. Town board of Lake Luzerne, Cynthia Sherwood, town clerk.
Okay. All right, anybody out there might have questions or something you'd like to propose to our team here?
Just hit the raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Get 20 people on. Nobody's got an answer. Folks, if there's anybody who wants to speak, just hit the raise your hand on your iPad or computer and we'll open you up.
All right, seeing none from the public hearing, we'll move to the town board. Any questions you gentlemen might have before we move to move this forward?
I do. Colleen, you took the payout for the best.
The community development line, that was one of the changes. I moved that to the personnel line. Yeah.
To your personnel line?
Yes. Yep, so that my pay would be on one line.
No, yeah, no, I didn't see it in minutes.
That's line on A8689.1, right, Paul?
We took out community beautification 8689.1.
Right.
And yep, it's all in 1430.1.
Shouldn't it have still been in this line though, from the 2022 tentative, because it was in the tentative budget that we first filed? That's a 0 now, but it was in the first budget that we did.
Yep, I could have.
Because that'll never change. Everything that's in the tentative should be the exact same thing that was in this one, correct?
Yeah, I can put that back so that shows there.
Yeah, that's true.
I get.
Is there anything else that I don't know, accusing or anything? Is there anything else that you moved that we probably should have in that column?
I'll have to change the personnel line back to where that was at, because that is not the same number.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The tentative lines, I made the changes to, although we had actually changed them before we went to preliminary. So you can change it in the tentative budget.
Right, and take things out.
You can make
Yes.
those changes in the tentative budget. We had changed it before we moved it to preliminary.
Yeah.
The other yellow budget had the changes on it.
Right, but this is still the preliminary, no matter how we look at it, because this is the one that was filed
No,
as preliminary.
No, the
green
tentative
ones.
you can change.
All right. Just asking.
The other question I had, and this is just because I don't know.
That figure was how much, Colleen,
Which
that
page?
you changed, 82?
For the personnel line?
Yes, ma'am.
The original figure in there. Let's go back to one of the other budgets. I took 18,000 out for the zoning officer. I took 1,545 out for the assessor. I added the community beautification into it,
Community development.
or community development. The original budget line. I don't think that's right. It's 58,710. I don't think that's right. I don't think I have the original.
That's right. 57,000 is got last year. The original tentative is 48,165. But is that the changed one? Is that changed?
The 58,710.
Okay.
But then I removed and I added other
Yes.
back to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
that
went through
original
that
line was
earlier.
58,710.
Are you good enough, Bob?
I believe so.
What line did you move that 9,000 to? You said you moved it to your line?
8689.
86. Oh, that's where it was.
And it moved personnel to 1430.1.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking through and Ryan, I'm trying to find out where do you get equipment from? Because I don't see, like your budget is very simple. It's one page.
5142.4.
51,
0.2.
51.
There's only two, I think there's only two spots where you get the, isn't it? Snow removal and machinery.
5130.2.
So
Yeah,
that-
5130 is the machinery .2.
Yeah, all right, so it's
Oh, no,
40,000.
there isn't one in snow removal. There's only one equipment line, I'm sorry.
And then snow, what'd you say about snow removal?
No,
There's a contractual.
there's
Not
just a
equipment.
contractual and then there's the salt line in the
It's got
salt line.
59,000 on contractual.
That is in snow removal.
What is that used for, Ralph? Sorry,
The snow removal?
the contractual part of that. Is that for you to get like new plows?
Yes.
Where do you get your tires? Like,
Yeah.
if you had to order new tires, where do you get it?
Yep, do that.
In that line.
Which one
I
are
think we
compared?
switch over soon, right? Between 5142 and 5130. We should switch over soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can switch
Yeah.
now.
Anytime.
Payroll switch.
Oh.
use up your old one
Yeah.
and then you'll get your new money.
Yeah, yeah. I'll deplete.
I would think that number would be much bigger.
Right now I'm at 5130.4 contractual. So I'll deplete that and then I think I got some left over in 5142, like 3,000 or something like that.
What have you got left? Have you got some left in 5110?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't,
what.
usually you haven't run out by now.
I do have a lot in my equipment fund, and I was gonna propose next month to roll that over.
No, you say your equipment fund, where?
5142.
No. 5130.2.
You got 5130.2 and the other one is snow removal, which is 5142.4.
And that's a point.
Those are the only two you have, totaling a total of $99,000.
No, he's also got general repairs and he's got
5110.12.
contractual.
Oh, so
He's
some
got
of that.
3 contractual lines and 1 equipment line.
Okay, so you probably got like $150,000 that you could spend on equipment gear. I'm just trying to get my head around it, that's all.
Yeah. 5130.2 is the machinery.
Don't forget, some of your equipment is also in your debt.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But, like last year we bought a sweeper, which 50. We bought this. thing
But
for
I think
26. I'm
some
just
of
trying
that
to
came
get my
out of
head
fund balance.
straight. That's all.
Yep.
Did you hear, Colleen?
Some of that came out of fund balance.
Okay.
He asked for that to be out of fund balance, and so then it didn't hit his lines.
Then the other question I had, and it's along the same lines, is the building and grounds, they have their own, like, but like they just said they have a truck down and they need a new truck. Where do we pull that money from?
There's point.
Okay.
They have a 0.2 that I don't, and 16, I mean, it wouldn't be enough to buy a truck, but buildings has a 0.2 that they, I don't think have touched yet this year, 1,500.
There's a 3,000 and 7110.
Parks equipment has 3,000. They really have not bought anything.
Yeah.
I don't think
Can you say
they,
those numbers again so I can look and don't go so fast?
1620.2 buildings.
Okay, so that's only 1,500. Okay.
Right, 7110 parks and
And
rec,
refuse and garbage has another 2,000.
7110.4.
That's 8160.2.
That's payroll.
Those all three lines
0.1
apply
is
to
two
buildings
is
and
equipment.
grounds.
They don't really, haven't used any of their equipment.
So
What we gotta do is go to a spreadsheet. That's gonna do a spreadsheet that they do up one per, that would answer all these questions.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my head around because today I'm looking through, how do they buy anything? They don't have like big lines anyway.
I
mean, you just talked about maybe what, $5,000 for the.
No.
Most of what they spend is repairs and stuff, and that comes out of the
Right.
7110.4.
Which number?
like your 0.2 could be tires,
7110.4
it could be bigger, expenses.
Parks and rec.
It's not necessarily buying equipment, it's actually bigger items that you're repairing on equipment.
Those are pretty much their three lines. The buildings 1620, the parks and rec 7110, and then the transfer station, the 8160.4, the refuge and garbage.
And the biggest one is in parks and recs, because sometimes they buy, chainsaws, lawnmowers, whatever, equipment there. Small, it's smaller equipment, it's not big trucks or anything.
Still go back, that's not a whole lot of money. It's $5,000 just for the part.
No.
Oh, is it 140,000? Is that?
It's 24.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh, this, I just wanted to clarify, that's all. And then the other thing I had to ask you, Colleen, is did you bring up the two drivers in Park and Rec to 18?
No, I did not. I was not directed to do that. Ever to give them that. So I can do that. And that will.
Well, that's got to be.
I think it is still.
I think that Eric and Jake both, they're both CDL drivers, and they're the only guys there with it. So.
I think it'll fit in
It'll
there,
fit.
because those are bundled lines. I think it'll fit.
That's what I said, Jake and.
Yeah, that'll fit, because we talked about that. And I believe those bundled, so they're all paid on bundled lines. And their pay, that pay would be out of refuse, and that'll hold it. That can take the increase for two. They're both part-timers, right?
Yeah, they're both part-time.
Yes.
I don't think we can vote on it tonight, can we? I don't think we can vote on that tonight, can we?
Special meeting.
We're gonna change it right now. And we have to vote on it and then move forward. You can't wait anymore.
That line is fine.
But the one thing that's gotta be, and I talked to Linda about it and Colleen might still have copies of it. I not work with him, I talked to Kevin. He runs a different spreadsheet than we do. And every employee is on there, everything.
I think that new
The questions that you're asking, they don't bundle like we do. We take money out of a lot of different accounts,
That wasn't actually.
Even buildings and grounds, if they work on a water project or something, they get money out of the water.
We do that.
Yeah, but on the way Kevin has it, he schedules so much for each person for certain.
Who's Kevin, Gene? I apologize. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot easier for people to look at it and look right across. This you know, we do a lot of bundling. We've got a lot of different accounts that they take it out of, but it all adds up to one bottom line. And it's in the budget the way it is. And it should be changed. I think it's time it should be changed. Anything else, Paul?
Still thinking. At this present time, no, I don't.
And anything?
No,
Mike, anything?
No, thank you. I just questioned you. What are we voting on tonight to move forward? Or I thought we voted on Friday when we passed the budget at our Friday meeting.
The budget has to be to the county delivered by Friday.
The budget has to be there.
We didn't have a meeting scheduled for Friday?
You have a meeting scheduled for the 19th.
Which is Friday.
At 7 o'clock.
That's what we did at the last meeting.
Which is at
Yeah, but that's
this
too
coming
late.
Friday.
It has to be
The county
delivered.
needs it because they gotta put it with their budget and print the taxes.
I'm not arguing any of that. I'm just saying that's what we talked about doing. So I don't know.
I thought it was the Wednesday before.
No, we had to have it done by time factors, and it was decided on this coming Friday at 7 o'clock. I've got it written down.
Yeah, the town law, it has to be in by the 20th. We just said the 19th because the 20th falls on a Saturday.
That is correct, which now carry us over to the following Monday.
Correct.
And we still make all the
Right.
time factors.
Correct.
That is what was discussed, and that's what I've got.
That's what Cindy told us anyway, because, yeah.
And why wouldn't you adapt, or you seem to be okay with this? Why wouldn't you adapt it? I'm just asking.
I didn't say we weren't going to. I just
I mean-
didn't think that we were voting on it tonight. That's all.
Well, I think we planning on voting it tonight after the public hearing, making sure there was no from them, none from us. We're finished and moving on. The only thing we'll do the same thing that we'll do now on Friday.
Well, myself personally, I'd like to see the changes written down before I vote on what we discussed tonight. Go from there. Myself personally.
And plus, you know,
What
this is
changed?
the first time I saw this. I knew these two well, but this is the first I've seen of it. And maybe it's my fault I haven't seen you, but
It was here Monday night at the meeting. They were giving
why
out.
did I get a warning?
How many you want?
I got a lot of colors.
So now I'm doing another one?
What-
Okay.
No, just didn't make the changes you just made.
What changes?
Put the factors back into what we discussed just a few minutes ago in regards to payroll breakdowns, where you move them all into your monetary figures or people that get paid.
That's not gonna be in the budget. All that breakdown?
She removed, and as an example, in her figure, if I'm not mistaken, a figure of X amount of dollars, like for the FASNY account.
Yeah,
okay,
that
was
went to her
removed
personnel
out of
line.
the FASNY.
That's already done on the
It's
green
already
budget.
done. It's in there. She just explained to you. It went
It's
out of
already
one.
done on the green budget.
It's zero in the one budget where there was money in this one.
Those
it's
changes
zero
have been
now.
made.
Those
Well,
changes,
this is where I'm having a problem because I was going off the original stamp one.
and this
No
is the
different
one.
than Dan.
And this one is, that's all been accomplished.
Yeah.
I think that was there. There was, and she set up the new line in the zoning. If you look in number, that would probably be page 4. There's a new, as you see in the preliminary, under 8010, deputy zoning officer. There's that new number there.
I thought we had decided. Oh, no, excuse me, I'll take that back.
And then back on the assessor line, which, sorry, I'm flipping you back, on page 1 of general expenses, A1355, now there's a new line called data clerk 1545.
What was
and
the
then-
number on that, Cindy? I'm sorry.
A1355,
81355.
yeah. And that's on page 1 of the general fund expenses. That's the assessor data clerk. So all those things that were asked to be done were accomplished. Was there any other one? I believe that was the only line, wasn't it, Mike?
I don't
That
know
was
what other
cumbersome.
line we have to change.
Personnel was
No,
the problem, and then we moved the
Everything's.
The only issue I really have with everything is we advertised we were gonna vote on Friday at the last meeting.
Yeah, and that's
I'm on
the
revenue,
way.
sorry.
I mean, if you guys are happy with that,
On page one of the
But,
general.
I mean, it's too
Right.
bad because the county really needs it.
Halfway down.
You can adopt it at any time that you're satisfied with the substance, including any changes that were made from the discussion that's ensued from public comment. So you can adopt it based on the substance, knowing, I guess, that there would be some changes or corrections if there are any. But I guess my point is you can adopt it tonight, knowing that you have the substance of the budget set the way that you want.
Right.
It doesn't have to be just approved on the 19th because that's the date that you had set for coming back and reviewing after the public comments. The fact that you've taken, you've had the public comments on notice, you've gone through the questions that you had. You know, if there are additional comments and concerns and possible changes to address, that would be one thing. But if it's essentially the way that you want it, you're free to move it forward prior to that.
Right. The only thing Colleen would do with the adopted one would just make sure that 97,000 that was vacant that we just corrected, that would be in there, and everything would add up right. And as you see, this is what we've done, even with changes. We kept the levies the same, so that the 2% never changed. And it worked out, even with the changes in the UMS and everything. So none of that changed.
I do have one more question too, because I'm sorry, that unallocated insurance, what is that for again?
Oh, that's
63,000 in that.
That's NIMER. And that's a cooperative insurance, very good to belong to as a municipality. And that is the one through Yeager and Flynn and Clifton Park. And that's our vehicles, our liability, our fire, our buildings, whatever. That's the big one.
And that's for,
I'm sorry, no, go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
no, someone's got their hand up.
Someone has their hand up. The public comment period is still open. We didn't officially close it, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to, I don't know who it is, but I can ask.
You might have to put that over by the.
Yeah, I will. So we're going to ask Kay. Oh, shit. Sorry, I just muted you by accident. Hey, can you unmute yourself? Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Jack Herron from Davern Drive. I just have a question with regards to preparation of the budget. Are there any salaried employees in the town that receive extra pay to prepare the budget?
I did it, but I was consulting. I'm not an employee anymore.
Unemployed.
And if there are extra payments being made, could you tell me where in the budget I would find that?
Extra payments for budget preparation.
The budget officer is the supervisor, so that is part of his salary, and it is listed under budget officer personnel service.
So
Linda's pay.
Yep,
That's where
Linda's
the
pay came out
from.
of there.
That's where my pay came from.
What line is that?
so it's actually included in the salary, is that what you're saying?
A1340.1.
A1340.1.
Yes.
Well, I don't understand if it's included in the salary. It wouldn't be extra pay, no?
That's correct. It's not extra pay. It's part of it's he draws the salary from two lines. The supervisor does, budget officer and supervisor.
Okay, and that's found where in this budget?
Supervisor is A1220.1 and budget officer is A1340.1.
Okay, please just bear with me for a minute. I don't quite understand that. Are you saying that the money comes out of the supervisor's budget to pay someone else for this preparation?
It did this year.
This year, we took $1,000 out of that budget officer line and paid Linda Mason as a consultant. Okay. That was done at a board meeting by resolution.
And does the supervisor receive additional pay for preparing a budget?
Not above and beyond that line.
Which is the listed salary for the supervisor?
Yeah. Well, it's the budget, that budget officer line, Jack.
4,000.
4,000.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Jack?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
So, are we ready to move this forward?
Paul, are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Mike?
Nope. We advertise Friday, and that's the way I'm thinking that we need to do it. I'm not gonna, but if, you know, I can abstain. You guys can do whatever you want to do, but I'm just not, I don't feel it's appropriate. We told the people we were voting on Friday. That was if, can we make change if we move it forward tonight? Can we still make changes or no?
No, you'd be adopting if you adopt the budget now.
And then this is Friday, was that okay, public meeting too?
No, this is just tonight was a public meeting.
Yeah.
If any changes, a lot of changes, then we would have to go to Friday.
Are they supposed to have it in Friday at the county? When are they supposed to have it at the county on Friday? This is very late for us. What?
That's during the day.
Right, during the day, it's supposed to be at the county. Couldn't make it on Thursday?
We advertised Friday. And
we did.
If they don't want to vote on it, then just have to move forward and vote Friday and see what happens. The county will get it Monday.
So we're going to have a meeting Friday night just to come back and adopt the budget.
Yep, that's what we'll do.
Mike, are you in town Friday? We can do it at 4 o'clock.
Could make it happen.
Can you be around for that? We're going to come back. Not bringing everybody back yet.
We have to advertise it.
Did we already advertise it?
We passed everything at the last meeting, Laura. I don't have it all in front of me, but this was working with Cindy and everybody here.
If he hasn't advertised
it. Can we pull the minutes from the last meeting to see?
I'll get them from her.
Yeah. Can you come early in the day?
And
so maybe
the whole
you could
object
get it to
was
the
at our
county,
last
like?
meeting, we stated
We
that
haven't
she
till
had to have
Monday
2
because
days
the
to get it in
20th.
the paper.
Right.
Okay, for the postcard to list it, and then we had to have an additional 5 days before the meeting could be announced. This is why tonight's meeting was held tonight, and the adjacent meeting being held on Friday.
Right, Mike? I still don't think you give it 5 days though.
Pardon?
So
5 days.
that goes for the public hearing. So the public hearing requires publication and in 5 days from publication. Setting the meeting doesn't require publication or 5 days. That the additional meeting, I believe, was set up kind of as a backstop so that if comments came from the public hearing that then required some more massaging of the budget to get it into the substantive form of what the board wanted, you would have that meeting already scheduled. It wasn't part of the public, the notice for the public hearing. It's not something that has to be published with, 5 days notice. So in essence, like I said, you could, based on the public hearing, you can close the public hearing and you can vote on approving it tonight. You can do that on Friday as a special meeting. You just have to post the notice that you have a special meeting. It doesn't include a public hearing,
Right.
But it is a public meeting.
Yeah, and you've already done the public.
Right. So, you know, again, the way that I see it is you had the public hearing portion of the process. And so you check that box and got the feedback from that. And now it's kind of the in the final phase of getting it ready for approval and then the final approval, which could happen tonight, could happen tomorrow, could happen Thursday, could happen Friday.
Right, what do you gentlemen want? Pick a date. If you're not ready to do it tonight, pick a date so we can go back and.
We don't have to pick one. We already advertised one. We advertised Friday at 7 o'clock.
We haven't advertised it yet, that I know of. I'll double check that, but I don't think we have. So just keep that in mind.
If we haven't, would you guys be against holding at 4 o'clock on Friday?
Or have it earlier. Wouldn't earlier be better for you? I mean, you guys are all, I mean, if he's not on the road, you're all local. Or, I mean, you're not working nights. Well, you are now.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather have it at 4 or 3.
I mean, if it was like earlier, I don't know, but.
Yeah, but I don't know if Mike's in
Then almost you could get it.
I don't know about David. I mean, I don't want to speak.
No, Dave
David
can't. Dave can't do. Dave can't do early. I doubt if he could.
And I would imagine the snow up there slowed them down today.
Well, let's stick with 7 o'clock then.
What? They're good for you, Mike? 7?
Yep.
All right, just let's make sure tomorrow, anything that you really wanted changed and notified, let's get it into Colleen so we can have it all ready and get.
David had this? David, no?
They were here Monday night for the meeting. Everybody should have gotten one.
Have you got an extra copy that we can get to David?
I can give you my copy. Yeah, I came with 2 copies. I can give you, make myself another tomorrow.
You want mine?
That's different. Is yours wrote on? Yeah, I can give him mine. It's just white.
Well, I wrote on I just wrote.
I can. I'll get it to him.
I'll drop it off tonight on my way home. I'll give it to his wife.
Is there any changes that you want made at this point?
I would just like to go through and compare the two because I haven't got a chance to do that yet.
Yeah.
And I'll do it quickly. So if I find anything, I'll let you know real quick.
Yeah, let's just let Colleen know what the questions you want so we can just get it done and have the answer.
Yeah. No, that's gotta get
Friday. No, you just
or who's?
You're right, take it.
Are you taking it up?
I'll take it, David.
All right, this has got the changes in it, though. Just say the changes.
Okay, my
Won't
question.
be in the next printing, but it made it.
Right, my question to you is, we changed those figures, okay? Are they added into just his end of the budget or the total budget for the town?
No,
For Rodney's?
it was just his.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Well, here's the figures here,
Mhm.
the preliminary for the highway department.
right, that's
Okay.
right. That's a total right.
Can we do this after? Because you got 24 people.
Let's close this public hearing.
Okay. So we need a motion on closing the public hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion
Second.
and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, 4-0.
And then we'll just making a motion and we're gonna meet at 7 o'clock Friday night.
I'll make a motion, 7 o'clock Friday night on the 19th.
7 o'clock.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, 4-0.
Moving right along. you want to speak on that?
Yeah.
Resolution that we have to have?
Sure. So when Lori read the notice for the public hearing, you may have picked up Ron's salary was noticed for the public hearing at $55,401, and it was included in the preliminary budget. And what it was supposed to be was $58,401. However, because it was in the notice at 55, just as a typo, have to keep it at 55,401, and then pass a local law to increase his salary to 58,401. There's a little bit of gymnastics to correct the typo, but in order to do it properly, since it was noticed at a lower number, what we would do is in the package that you have here was a resolution introducing a local law.
There's no local law after the public hearing though?
Yep. So what we would do with the resolution is introduce the local law, set a date for the public hearing. And for that, I'd like to do it this month. Again, because it's a public hearing, we need 5 days. So having it this Friday wouldn't work. But one of the days this month, so that it would have a 30-day run cycle for permissive referendum. That way, come January 1st of 2022, the salary would be the exact same as if it were noticed in the budget at 58,401. So I think, again, based on everybody's availability, a Monday evening, either the 22nd or the 29th, to be able to have the public hearing, open and close the public hearing, and adopt the local law that will, in essence, just put Ron's annual salary back to what it was going to be at 58,401.
We can't have it 22nd. That's not going to get done. Right.
No, that's enough.
That's enough time. Okay.
Yeah. If we get the if we get the notice tomorrow or the 29th, if we get it in, if we have the public hearing this month, and actually adopt the local law, that would give the required 30 days for a permissive referendum to pass before January 1st. That way, it's, in essence, it's a seamless transition, except just a couple extra steps to make sure that what in essence is just a typo doesn't have any lasting results. So I guess my recommendation would be to have it either the 22nd or the 29th, or whatever day would work for the board. That's going to give us at least 5 days to get it published in the Post-Star before the end of the month.
I think we have something scheduled for the 22nd anyways, right?
I really don't. Not off the top of my head.
The executive thing?
Executive session.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. That's right.
I see Ronnie just gives the money back.
Mm. Let's let him wait till next year.
You're funny.
He'll come out and say, I got money extra. I'll spend it in here.
It's going to be right down to the day, though. That's kind of.
What line was that under, Linda, in regards to his salary?
Because you figure.
You remember
16,
what line that is under Ronnie's salary?
He's in the general.
50-10.
I know you.
8-50-10.
7 days. So we need a couple days lead time for the Post-Star. So I'm worried about it being.
You need 5 days.
I got on this piece of paper, tentative for 58,401.
if it's in on the 17th.
That's right.
Yeah.
They published it wrong.
Published.
What the,
Public ones are
It's
wrong.
not our budget.
it's not the budget, it's what they, it's what I believe they put in the post
Public
or
notice.
the,
With all the electric-
Public notice.
that's the public notice, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to
Mike, Mike,
Yes,
you think we should have that meeting for the budget at 6 o'clock, then we could do the 7 o'clock one.
is that what- yeah.
Right?
Well, what are you doing now? 7 o'clock on the,
So,
We already had something on that.
7 on
6
Friday.
o'clock, we're gonna public
Is
hearing for,
budget.
But I was just speaking
Seven.
to-
on what day, the 22nd?
Just not sure if the Post-Star can get it published that quickly.
Okay.
So that would push it to either the 23rd or any time after the 22nd. So the 23rd through to the end of the month. Correct. Okay.
No, 23rd is a Tuesday. I'm gonna try that. What you guys,
And that's
gonna move into field.
got a planning board meeting at 7
On the 22nd.
on 23rd. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Most evenings, I don't have a problem, just tell me what day you want to have it.
How about the 25th? That's a Thursday. Maybe on
That's
Thursday.
Thanksgiving.
That's Thanksgiving.
Oh,
oh, that's Thanksgiving.
Oh, my God. Oh, we can have turkey dinner.
There you go.
Why, you buying this year?
You're cooking.
What do we do it Tuesday, on that Tuesday, the planning board at 6 o'clock, it won't take that long. Right, then we'll get up. So,
6.
No, 6 on the 23rd, Tuesday at 6.
So
Tuesday,
Tuesday, the 23rd,
the 23rd
at 6 p.m.
at 6 o'clock.
Do we need a roll?
Yeah, we should run through this resolution.
And our meeting on Friday.
I don't know if you have a no resolution.
I don't, Cindy was gonna give me one.
So then I guess, why don't we read this one in this resolution. Yeah. Yeah. No, just from the resolution introducing the whereas is into here with the 23rd. 6 p.m.
Resolution introducing proposed local law to increase salary of town highway superintendent. Whereas the notice of public hearing concerning the 2022 preliminary budget included a clerical error with respect to the salary of the highway superintendent. And whereas the notice indicated that the salary of the highway superintendent for 2022 was $55,401, and the preliminary budget correctly reflected the salary of $58,401. And whereas pursuant to the town law, section 27, a town may increase the salary of an elected official in excess of the amount specified in the notice of public hearing by adopting a local law subject to progressive referendum. And whereas a local law to increase the salary of the highway superintendent for the fiscal year 2022 has been prepared. Now therefore it be resolved by the town board of the Town of Lake Luzerne as follows. Section 1, a public hearing shall be scheduled for the consideration of the proposed local law to be held by the town board on November 23rd, 2021 at 6 p.m. Section 2, the town clerk is directed to post and publish a notice of said public hearing in the official newspaper of the town at least 5 days before the hearing. And Section 3, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
You want a motion on that?
Yes.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second that. Michael second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, 4-0.
That's taken care of. Moving along on resolutions, we got one from Ron, the road department. We talked about it last week about purchasing of the brine machine, $26,750. Want to move forward on that?
The only thing I don't care for,
Got to have a motion, then we have discussion, right?
oh, that's correct.
Make a motion to move forward with it.
Second.
All right, Paul.
The thing I don't care about it is why are we paying in full?
Because they don't have any available and it's gotta be made.
Okay, so why isn't a 50% payment?
This is what they're requesting.
Why don't they have any made, Ron? Is there issues with supplies or COVID or labor or something?
They didn't say.
That's the only thing that I share the same
They just
concern.
don't have any available that they get their hands on right now, so they're making it from scratch.
But that really doesn't explain why they're asking us to pay in full. I mean, they would
In other
do that
words,
normally.
What you're saying to me and the board, I'm assuming, is this company doesn't have enough money to buy their own materials. That's why we gotta pay for it up front.
I wouldn't think so, but I can call and ask.
I'm just concerned about the risk factor. If they go out of business or whatever, normally that's not how things are done, especially with municipalities. They know we're pretty good for our bills to say you have to pay everything up front for something they haven't even made yet. That's a little worrisome.
I can call and question them and get back to you on it.
Ron, can you maybe, if we give them half now?
I can propose that.
Well, you said 4 weeks, if we gave it full, and we can go 8 weeks to get the whole thing, and then pay them the rest of it.
I can get.
I mean, I
can ask. I'll get back to you.
Give a deposit to get it going.
I'm saying give you 50% down.
Right.
And if they want to make it
the rest
FOB,
yeah,
when they deliver it,
right,
they got their check, they got their money.
I'll request that tomorrow, and I'll email all you to let you know.
all right, so.
And we can hold this off until our Friday meeting. Correct, Mike?
Sure, you table it.
And table it until Friday's meeting.
That's
And
fine.
pass it then.
Okay, and I'll get back to you tomorrow on what they say.
Sounds good.
It just doesn't make sense, Ron. You know what I mean? It really doesn't.
Yeah, I can't.
And I know it's
I'm
not you,
sure.
but it's just,
All I know is Stony Creek has this, and they're extremely happy with it.
sure. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, if I was buying one for my house and they might want me to pay ahead, I understand. But the town of Lake Luzerne, you probably have a pretty good credit rating after all these years. And I just feel it's a huge risk for the taxpayers to have to pay for something upfront like that.
That's what they requested, and I will give more info tomorrow.
And also, we're going to include in that this money is going to come out of the federal funding.
The chips. Right? Is that where you wanted to come out of?
So we got
Was
the
it
money
chips
there.
money or?
What fund?
I got it coming out of
Your
my
point.
salt money
That's
and the grant that the county gives us every year.
That's already included in your revenues. We need to discuss that, the 10,000.
Yeah, that is. That's why,
Well, why
and
is
if
that
you're gonna
already included?
talk to them about a different way to purchase this, I would
It's
do
included in the
50%
revenues.
down, which is in
For
the
the highway
budget,
department.
and then 50% after the first of the year when they get it to, how soon are they gonna get it to you?
It's 4 weeks, so.
Okay,
Not before the first.
I would almost say push that other 50% into the new year. new money. That'd be better. Yeah, because that 10,000 from the county now, they put that in with their
Right in with those
other money. It's not separate like it used to be. So it's an expected revenue. So it would be better to do it 50% now and 50% later.
All right, yeah.
I mean, that way they have some skin in the game too, you know, we pay everything ahead of time. Who knows where we're gonna be on that pecking order with, or, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no
I think
no
it's
urgency
much
on their part to get it to us.
safer that way. Yeah.
So we need a motion to table it, right?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion, we table it.
Is there a second?
yeah.
Okay, let's table it. So
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Till Friday.
Hearing none, 4-0, tabled.
I could see you got bad credit or something like that.
Okay, last week we approved that health plan for the town workers and for the retirees. We had asked for prices on that retiree to see if we can get something a little bit better.
Prescription wise.
Huh?
Just for prescription.
Yeah, for a prescription for the retirees. And we did get 3, and I spoke about it 3 weeks ago. We got to put it in that resolution to add that to it. So I'd like to do that tonight. That's $221.95 a month. And that's the middle one. It's not the low one. It's not the high one. It's the middle one. We'll agree on the motion to do that.
A resolution.
A resolution. Yeah. Resolution.
Are we amending the original resolution?
It'll be a resolution amending.
Amendment, what we did.
Yep, I don't recall, we can pull that resolution number, but it was a resolution to include the
Just
healthcare
never
plan.
added that part to it.
Yep. And so it will be amending that to include the, what was it?
$221.95 a month.
Option 2, prescription rate.
Option 2.
Take it first, motion. Take it a second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, 4-0, carried.
All right. Okay, you all got a copy of this from Chase. I sent it out, Colleen sent it out last week. A resolution for the proposal for the dam.
I never got a copy of it. I've asked. I'm sorry. I don't know if it didn't get to my computer or my laptop or anything.
I got plenty of copies.
Thank you, sir.
I have like that.
You got one? Okay. Well, in fact, I called 3 engineering companies. 2 of them got back to me and said, you know, they don't have somebody on staff that does that. 3 of them did. We sent them out for the thing from the state, and only 1 returned it, and that's Chazen. And this is the whole proposal here. I'd like to move forward with this because if there's a problem, we want to know about it. And the bottom line on this thing here, the estimate is 38,000. It's on. They don't have big numbers here, but it's about halfway through. And they give you all the what they're going to do on this stuff here. If you read it, I think it's fair. It's got to be done. It should have been done anyway. So, and again, this should come out of that stimulus fund. So it's not going to make any change on that.
Whatever happened to the other companies that you talked to, such as, or is this CT Mail?
That's Chazen right there. CT Mail didn't give us a bid.
They did not.
The other ones just didn't give us a bid yet. I don't think we can wait any longer.
Jason's a high quality company too.
Yeah,
They do. Jason's a high quality company.
Yeah, they did work. They did work.
They've worked first before.
Want to make a motion moving forward with it?
All right, motion.
So
Mike, second it. And the only other thing I'd like to suggest, I want to pass it, but I want to give a copy to the attorney. I don't. Did we send him a copy?
Of that, I don't believe so.
Okay. just so you can take it with you on Friday, just in case you think there's something that we should ask questions on. Then we can make a modification.
Okay, so we're gonna, what's the motion next, actually?
You want to wait till Friday to pass it, Gene? So we have a chance to look at
Let
it?
it go, because I gotta call them and let them start planning and
That we make a motion, we'll move forward with that contingent on the attorney's.
okay. If I can call them tomorrow, tentatively say we'll definitely have to know Friday.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, 4-0, carried.
All right, just a couple of things, this, the vegetation plan came in from the lake. I didn't make copies of it and get it out to you guys or email it to you because it's 37 pages long and it's mostly in color. And we're not capable of printing all this one sheet at a time. So I'd like to get about 15 copies made out, bring them over to the printer, and get them done in copies. So as soon as we get it, we'll get a copy and then we'll have them here for anybody in town who wants to see.
Now, who's that report from?
The Big Aquatic Spaces, the one from Darren Institute.
Okay.
That, yeah.
Darren Freshwater Institute.
Yeah, but he's blank. The grant writer. Yeah, Tracy. So this all came in, all the questions in here on it. But like I say, it's all in color. And if you don't get it in black and white, you're not going to understand what all these dots are on the lake and all the stuff that they're talking about. But I can leave this here if anyone wants to look at it, but I like to get it printed tomorrow if possible. Sounds good. All right. And make the way she prints, we might have them by Friday. The only other thing I just got late today is a press release from Hudson Headwaters about the mobile. Anybody had a chance to see it last Thursday or Friday?
Yep.
Nice, it's a quick. So I think it'll do a good job, and they're going to advertise it for it, and they'll start setting up a schedule soon for it. Anybody else have anything?
I know myself, after looking at that, I took brochures over to VF, American Legion. There's also copies of the handouts down at Luzerne Market. Jimmy said I believe he got it over at Stewart's, Joe's Mini Mart, and Cumberland Farms, advertising the mobile unit at this time. Okay.
That sounds good.
I got a magazine in the mail today too, so they must have done a bulk mailing in our town, which is really cool.
Yeah, they're doing a mailing.
I got mine last week.
Yeah.
Maybe I got mine Friday. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I talked to them about that also, that the section on the mobile unit might have been spelled out a little bit better, so the general public actually had a little more understanding. It was pretty, quick and sweet on that unit. And if they could get some type of maybe another handout out to help explain it to the townspeople.
Yeah, that's not just a senior van.
Right.
It's for
everybody. And it's not just for Luzerne here, it's the whole community.
No, happy everyone. Right.
It'll take time to get it.
I can't remember the young lady's name. Jennifer, was
it? Kristen.
Huh?
Kristen and Christine were the two ladies I met.
When I talked to them, they agreed with me that it needs to be spelled out a little bit better than in that brochure they sent.
Gene, have we ever done anything like in concert with Mo over in Hadley, maybe like a bulk mailing for everybody in both towns to let them know what's going on? I don't know what the expense would be on that, but to me, something like that is well worth the monetary investment if they would want to split it with us, or 2/3, 1/3, whatever the equalization is.
Want to do a bulk mail, they told us last week they're going to do all the advertising.
They're doing their own now.
They are.
I think they want to do all.
But I think, and the reason the advertising is the setting of the schedule.
I really think they're kind of firm about that.
If there's a brochure already out there, I don't see where they would have any objection. We could check with them and to see what they would think about getting a bulk mailing out to the townships around here and getting it taken care of.
The worst thing I could see is that being a wasted resource, because that's amazing. It really is.
Beautiful piece of.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, this is what they said, the more people that get involved.
Yeah.
Right, and
Okay.
it's gonna take time
They
to grow
will
your
increase
base.
the amount of days they show
They'll
up.
come every Thursday if it's warranted, she said. Right now, that's just every other Thursday.
Right,
So,
and they'll keep increasing it the more they see fit.
Right.
We'll work on that. Anything else, Mike? It's okay. The only thing, Mike, I asked last week about that password or internet. Did you give it to Cindy at all?
I can. Nobody asked me for it.
I did last week.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it. I'll pull it up before I leave. I'll give you.
Just, yeah, so we can keep it in the safe, so we can
Absolutely.
get into it when we have to.
No problem with it.
All right, appreciate it. And as you all might know, we had the counting today at the election, and Dan is up by 4 points. But by law of the state of New York, they have to recount every ballot again and count, so we have to wait till maybe Friday.
Is that because it was under a certain amount or something so close?
Yeah, there's a state law, they
Under
told us
20.
under 20 votes, they have to recount, so we only have 4. So we'll have to wait until Friday.
I gotta say, we had 900 people out in this town.
It's amazing. It was quite an election.
It was actually over 900.
Every time.
Almost 1,000.
Oh, I know, we got to go to 1,000.
It was 446 for myself, 450 for Dan, and that's right there, the total almost 900. But there were a lot of votes, like even what they said to me, actually in the write-in, I got 12 extra, 14 extra votes. They weren't put in the right place, so they didn't get counted.
I had some thrown out today.
And we had a couple taken out today.
Yeah. No, that's an amazing election, really. It was the biggest we've ever had.
Anything? Ron, anything? Get a motion?
Make a motion. We adjourn.
Second.
All right.
All in favor?